What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy P. Skip. Welcome to the best half hour of your entire Tuesday. You know what time it is. It's time to get into his course. My squad with me, T-Mac.
Hola.
Chili Will.
Gracias, amigos.
Let's do this. Proverbs 22:6 in the Amplified says it like this. Train up a child in the way he should go, teaching him to seek God's wisdom and will for his abilities and talents. Even when he is old, he will not depart. So I said that because we had the Bucks losing to the Boston Celtics. And to me, it was a result of the players being trained to do one thing, and that's it. Because Bud has always been a shoot the three guy. Shoot the three guy. And that shooting the three guy, when you're not hitting, and the Bucks weren't hitting this entire series, it cost him. And Bud never altered anything. He just like, this is my game plan, run this play. But you ain't got the personnel to run this play, but you're steadily running it, and you're digging yourself in deeper holes, and nothing has ever changed. And so Game 6 and 7 was an embarrassment. Game 7 ended up being the Celtics blowing the Bucks out 109-81. Now, the people I blame is number one, and not in this particular order, but number one, John Holst, because you put this team together. You got rid of Boogie, brought in Serge Ibaka, and didn't give him no clock. Didn't understand that. Not at all. Amongst all the other things you did. You know, I know you didn't know that
Middleton
was going to go down, because if you did, you wouldn't have got rid of DiVincenzo. But you didn't bring anything to fill that gap. Also, you thought you were filling the gap with that Tucker left, PJ Tucker left, but you didn't. And it showed up in the playoffs. Number two, I blame Coach Bud for, again, him doing what Coach Bud does, and which has been his weakness since I've been talking about it. He is not good at in-game adjustments. And he never made any for this series. Never made any. Our strength was we were bigger than them. We were stronger than them. We were taller than them in the middle, and never went to a big lineup. He kept playing small ball, which played into their way of playing and ultimately caused our demise. Now, there's players I have to give straight up. I don't know what y'all was doing out there. I'll start off with Wes Matthews. Wes Matthews, you play in Game 7, you played 22 minutes, got 2 rebounds, 0 assists, and 3 points, and you took 8 shots. Garbage. Let's look at Grayson Allen. You played 22 minutes, got 3 rebounds, and 1 point, but you took 10 shots. Bobby Portis. This joker played 22 minutes, got 6 rebounds, 0 assists, and 10 points. But Portis also shot, he shot 13 shots to get 10 points. Now we're looking at George Hill. George Hill played 11 minutes, got 2 rebounds, didn't get 1 point, 0 points. Didn't even attempt a shot. Why are you on the floor if you're not attempting any shots? Pat Connaughton played 32 minutes, got 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 points. Pat Connaughton shot 11 times and got 2 points. This here for me says, this is ridiculous. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, you didn't get 20 points out of 5 guys.
Yeah, that's totally unacceptable and will get you put out of the playoffs as we witnessed over this past weekend.
Pastor Tim, the Bucks hit 4 threes against that Celtic defense.
Yeah. How
4
many
threes.
attempts? 30 attempts?
Yes. 4 threes and 30 attempts. Okay,
Yeah.
coach, we're not hitting. What else can we do?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Not much to argue with there based on
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. I mean, what you just added. I will add some additional perspective. I do think that Coach Bud, I mean, we saw some of the tendencies that, quite frankly, I thought we were past after winning the championship last year. And, you know, in such a gutsy fashion with resilience and a willingness to make a couple of in-game adjustments and, you know, go with the flow and get away from, you know, the typical game plan of Giannis, you know, dribble, draw, and you know, kick back out to the shooters for them to go ahead and, you know, bombs away. I think one of the things, though, that was surprising to us home fans was the fact that, hey, there were some shots that the team made that we were, quite frankly, surprised that they made, some clutch opportunities, some clutch baskets, and they continually rose to the occasion to their credit. Having to do that again, we knew that they might not be quite as fortuitous given all the quote-unquote breaks that they got last year and fellas hitting shots. You add to that going into the playoffs or early on, one of your key players, your second leading scorer, goes down with a serious injury. Right. Now, it wasn't just the fact that he was the second leading scorer in the team, which will be a blow to any team that's in the league, particularly any of them that are still alive in this final 4 of the playoffs now, but he's also an integral part to the system that right. the team ran, which is this dribble into the interior, kick back out to the open shooter. And that is the formula that, you know, Joker gonna gamble with, gonna live or die with. What Chris Middleton provided was, you know, a little middle of the road. He could be one of those kick out shooters who can knock down a jumper, particularly from the 12 to 18 feet mid-range piece. The other thing that really, I think, was problematic for the Bucks is that Chris had developed into a guy who could create his own shot. Over these last 2 years, particularly in the last year's playoff run, some of them clutch baskets he was making were off the dribble. He drugged somebody to the hole, did a turnaround fade away, a la Michael Jordan, and others that have kind of adopted that into their, you know, offensive repertoire. We didn't have that. You know, I thought Drew Holiday was going to come and do that as one of my favorite Bucks players and one who has ability to handle the ball almost like a Kyrie Irving, can go into the hole, deep penetration into the lane, finish strong with the right or the left, and has a pretty respectable 12 to 18 foot jump shot and can hit the 3 in kind of a streaky kind of a basis. His inconsistency, tendency to overpass, and just quite frankly, inefficient shooting was really, really bad. And it was terrible that he had those hiccups at a time where we needed him most when a Chris Middleton was not available for services. Now, I think all of that being said, all that you said, all that I just said, them Jokers still had a chance to win this series. after the gutsy come from behind, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat win in championship, never underestimate the heart of a champion fashion in game 5 on the road, coming back from 14 down in the fourth quarter, being clutch. They showed flashes of what got them to the championship last year. And I thought, hey, after a shaky start to these playoffs, our Bucks done finally woke the blankety blank up, is what I thought. And then you have the opportunity to close these Boston Celtics out, despite them sweeping the Nets. You guys won game 1 in Boston. You had a miraculous game 5 win. You're going back home for game 6. 80% of the teams that win game 5 in the playoffs go on to win the series. So you got the numbers, you got the odds, you got the coming back home for game 6. It's going to be 70, 80 degrees outside. You got the Deer District that's bumping, and you don't want to go back to Boston because you know you did a Harry Houdini almost to get game 5. That ain't going to happen again because Boston, the fans probably wouldn't let them jokers leave the arena if they choked again like they did. But even with them choking, y'all was still hitting shots. Drew Connaughton hit a couple big threes. Giannis hit a big 3, I mean, in the last 2 minutes of the game. So y'all did y'all part. How do you not go into game 6 on fire like Rocky Balboa knocking these jokers? It's done. We ain't going back no more. Y'all season is over, Boston. Just, it's a wrap. Don't even pack no extra clothes or nothing. Y'all going to the crib after this. Y'all going to Cancun is what I thought them jokers was going to come out with. So to come out and lay an absolute egg in game 6.
And not even a golden egg.
Not even a golden egg, exactly. To lay the egg in game 6, man. Not to be emotionally prepared, not to be mentally prepared, not to be coming in as defending champion, knowing that opportunities of a lifetime must be taken in a lifetime of the opportunity. I was totally surprised, man, that them cats didn't end the series in game 6. I went into game 7 a little concerned because I'm the optimist. I'm a man of faith. The glass always half full until ain't nothing in there.
Right.
And by the time we got to the end of that game, it wasn't nothing left in the glass, Doc. Them jokers it was over. It was a wrap. That was it. And so I think that those 3 factors, bringing it back full circle, I think Coach Bud reverted back to some of the things that he did prior to last year's championship run that had many of us kind of concerned and complaining about. Lack of in-game adjustments. When my man, what's his name, Gerald Williams, when y'all leaving him open, he's having a career night, bruh. The strategy ain't work. He hitting now. So we can't just leave him open no more. After he hit his first 3, 4, 5, 6 threes, you ain't getting no more threes, player. I got to rush you off the 3-point line, make you hit some other basket because you showing me tonight that you're money. So the fact he didn't make that adjustment, his uneven play with Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis, I thought maybe cost him a game or 2 as well. And then number 3, I mean, when you got Giannis being the warrior that he is, a couple games he had 40 points and 20 rebounds. You can't ask more than that from your best player who's willing to lay it all on the line, busted eye, got blood all in his face. He's giving it his all. When you see your leader giving it like that, that's supposed to inspire something in you to go ahead and step up because that joker can't be giving all of that by himself. I got to give some extra cheese too. And because he had to revert back to some of his old habits, just I'm going to be a bull in the china shop. I'm going to be a Tasmanian devil. I'm going to try and go into the teeth of the wall because my guys ain't hitting. I don't need to kick it out no more. Y'all ain't going to hit no way. Y'all went for 30 from the 3-point line. So y'all ain't hitting. We got as good a chance of me going 1-on-4 as me dribble, drawing, and kicking it out to y'all.
Right.
And we saw he came up short. So I think the supporting cast really should have been more supportive. I thought Grayson Allen, after showing out against Chicago, having those couple 20-point games, I know the Boston Celtics is an upgrade in opponent than Chicago was, but bruh, you can't give me 10? You can't give me 12? You might not be able to go for 25 against Boston. Okay, I got you. I need you, though, Joker, to give me at least 10 to 15 because my guy Chris Middleton, Cash Money, he's out. You're kind of his replacement. I know you can't fill his shoes all the way, Joker, but put some extra tissue in the front of them things so your toes can reach the edge. You know how you used to put shoes that was too big?
Right.
You make them Jokers still fit because you know what I'm saying? Put an extra sock on or something.
Right.
And he gave us nothing. That was
he gave us 1 point in game 7.
1 point in game 7, man. And he only had like 5 or 6 in game number 6. So you had 2 games where you didn't come through. And that we can't have that. If I need a contribution from you, I don't need you to be Giannis. I don't even need you to be Cash Money Middleton. I just need you to give me some production, much more than what you would. Last thing I'll say, I'll let you jump back in. I don't know why Coach Bud didn't sit George Hill and let the Javon Carter guy play a little bit more. You have to play. I thought you would play options if your first game plan A wasn't working out. You ain't got no B. You ain't got no C. I mean, you ain't, come on, bro. You ain't got no other calculus that you can kind of move some stuff around. No chess pieces at all, bro. That's unacceptable too. After you won a championship just last year by having the guts to make moves and abandon your original game plan in game when you saw that it was futile. So those are the contributing factors for me. Shouts out to the Bucks team. Thank you all for another great ride. But I think even despite Chris Middleton's injury, we could have went further still this year.
And he would have been back for Miami.
Yeah.
Here's something else that we also got to look at too. We have to understand, for me, game 5, the Bucks were spent after that because it seemed like they had nothing left in the tank for 6 or 7. It seems like game 5, like, listen, we're going to give you all we can and hope that we might be able to squeak out enough energy because what we saw in this series, we were going to definitely see against Miami.
Yeah.
We were definitely going to see against a rested Miami.
Yeah.
And Miami might have blown this tired team out. It might have been a 0-4.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Because they were spent. And I think, and again, to me, it goes back to Holst in that you built a team that you put nobody other than 3 guys who can get their own shot. And that's Giannis, Middleton, and Drew.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you got 3 guys and another 10 that can't create their own shot? Why would you build a team with a secondary that nobody can create their own shot with? And then Giannis is tired because at the beginning of the season, you wouldn't go get a center. You took to the All-Star, almost the All-Star weekend to get a center so Giannis didn't have to play it. And the minute you got him off the center, the minute you got Serge Ibaka to come in here, Giannis drops 50. So he played out of play and got tired during the regular season. So now come playoffs, he's spent. And then you call him to, I know you spent, but I need 40 minutes out of you. I need 38 minutes out of you. I need you to give me 40 every night. But here's the upside to that, though. On a good note, I'm going to just say this. And we could go back, but I got to put a spoonful of sugar to make this medicine go down. Giannis Antetokounmpo has hit a legendary milestone. In this series, he became the first player in NBA history to tally in a series, playoff series, 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists.
Yeah.
Them some banana numbers, bro. Giannis
was phenomenal. And even when he reverted back to some of the things that were kind of cringeworthy, ill-advised shots, trying to be 1-on-4, possession after possession, he demonstrated that, hey, he is the real deal. And, many folks across the country even gave him the moniker as the best player in the game right now. All that said, I think that there are still some levels of improvement that he can do to help lighten his own personal load. The development of a consistent 12 to 18 foot jumper will unclog the lane for him because it'll force the defenses to respect that when he pulls up forward, and it can be a weapon that he can use offensively. Right. And do it in such a way that, hey, I'm going to attack you with this. So even if it comes down to crunch time, he doesn't automatically have to revert back to the old habits of trying to drive right into the teeth of the defense. We've seen from Toronto, who originated it, and this Boston clamp that they put on him in this past series, that, hey, that doesn't work. It only has so much shelf life. You're going to have to expand your game, young man. Which means that when you come down sometimes, it's not an extreme. It doesn't have to be either a three-pointer or 1-on-4. Mid-range game, bro. That 12 to 18-footer can be your release valve. And as you knock that joint down and you shoot it with confidence, the defense has to respect you. And now when they come out, now your fundamentals can take over. That's where the pump fake comes in. Get past the first man. Put yourself at an advantage against the defense. Now, if you can pass to, let's say, a cutter, you can do that. You can kick out to a joker. Hopefully they shooting, or you can take the shot 12 to 18 feet, which is easier to make than a 35-foot three-pointer and will probably have less defensive opposition than you trying to go to the hole. So you still are advantaged with that. Now, if he's willing to add that to his repertoire, the situation that he ran into against this series, one of his main men was down, and it was him versus the world. He felt like Tupac, whatever. You got a little more to work with. And the more bullets you have at your disposal, the more of a chance you got a chance to shoot your way out of some trouble. You got a Gatling gun, you got a 9mm, you got an AK-47, you got the, you know what I'm saying, Sherman, you got
Ruger, tank, all of that.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? You got a good chance of, maybe winning that battle when you got an arsenal of different weaponry to use. And I think for Giannis, given his dominance down low and given the fact that defenses like Detroit did Michael Jordan with the Jordan rules, they got Giannis rules now. Hey, bro, you got to respect that. You ain't just going to come down and dog people. You ain't doing it. They just showed you ain't doing that, bro. They told you, look, bro, you ain't doing that against us. You just ain't doing that. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to try. You ain't doing it, bro. You're going to be tired, and your team in Game 7 only going to score 81 points, and y'all just about led the league in scoring this year, like 115 a game. Because you ain't doing that. Had you had that little 18, 12-foot jumper, though, hey, y'all can get some of this. And I ain't got to go to the hole. Michael Jordan wasn't dunking on people, tailing of his career. It was that 18 to 12, that push off on Byron. What's my man name from Utah?
Russell,
yeah. It was an 18 to 12 to 18 footer. And it was deadly. I can give you 30 shooting jumpers. Giannis, take notes, bruh. Because you've already shown you had 44 and 20. Y'all lost them games though. So your stats, I love them. And kudos to you. And I appreciate you being a dog for us. But we caught L's in games 6 and 7. Bruh. Yeah. So mix that up some more.
I agree.
And I think if he can do that, man, and continue to evolve, we'll be fine. One last thing to your horse tip. I think that he got away with having a roster that has some flaws. And it's one of those things where if don't nobody catch it, I ain't gonna say nothing. They don't see it. I don't see it either. And you know what I'm saying? Now that it's been exposed, hey, bro, if you're gonna have a team set up like this, we need some deadly shooters. Some Jordan Pools, some Steph Curry kind of guys, not guys that's kind of something. We need deadly shooters. Pull JJ Redick out of the analyst booth, get that joker back on the court. Bona fide gunners. If we don't have that, you're going to have to mix up that personnel. You know what I'm saying? And it can't be a one-dimensional just draw and kick because they didn't show you. They'll go 4 for 30 in the game. In game 7 when it count the most. We need a mixture of some slashers, some other guys that can create their own shot. So if we run into junk defenses like Boston were playing, we can go to different game plans because we have not only the personnel to do it, but we've been doing it all year. So they're familiar with changing on the dime, pivoting when we need to, as opposed to we ain't never done this ever all year. Now I'm expecting y'all to be something that y'all ain't been all year in 2 or 3 games in the playoffs. Yeah. That ain't gonna. I ain't gonna learn how to speak Chinese tomorrow, Joker. Right. Give me some time to work on that. Let me learn my ABCs first. Then I can string together a sentence. Don't ask me to write no paragraph in Chinese today, and you ain't gave me no Chinese lessons all year. You know
right. Right. And so here's 2 things, and I'll close after this. What you saw with Giannis was dead legs. That's basically what you saw, because some of them shot, because if you see, most of his shots were off because his legs were just dead. Even his mid-range, they were short, and he just had dead legs. But there was a question asked of, you know, all the stuff that was said about the playoffs. And they asked Damian Lillard, if he could, who would he love to win a championship with? His exact words were Giannis Antetokounmpo. He said, I think I can win one with him. I know I can win one with him. Wow. So if we had the ability to get him, what would you be willing to give up for?
As much as I hate to admit it, man, I would give up I don't think anybody on the team is untouchable. I would hate to see Drew leave, but if Portland put that demand on, you know, Chris Middleton and something else, Drew Holiday and something else, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton together for Dame. If Dame can demonstrate that he is not having any lingering impacts negatively from this abdominal situation he had this year, I would say pull the trigger, because he got what Giannis needs. And I'll say that anybody that is great at what they do and are phenomenally productive and just got the right attitude and really brings the full themselves to the table every night, all that person ever needs is just some help. Right. Giannis just needs some help. You know, championship year, the help was helping. This year fell a little bit short. Dame, his whole career in Portland, help hasn't been up to par. If you got a guy like Dame, could have not just some help, but some help of Giannis, and Giannis not just having some help, but having Dame as his helper, I think you will be able to fill in the rest of the supporting cast with those 2 bookends being pillars to the team. That would be phenomenal and exciting, although I would hate to see Drew Holiday leave. But if he has to be part of that transaction, I'd have to say adios.
The one thing, and I'll close with this, that you'd miss with losing Drew is Dame don't play D.
Yeah.
And that would really leave us wide open on the defense.
Well, we could
on the perimeter.
We could get a defensive player, a specialist, a la Bruce Bowen, old school San Antonio Spurs. You know what I'm saying? So I think we could get a person, and I think what Dame makes up for on offense, it would help compensate some of that. We definitely would lose the defensive of Drew. He's a grade A defender. But I think that we might be able to cobble something together, getting the defensive specialist to replace that part, and having Dame's offense coupled with Giannis, and Dame is a bona fide outside shooter too.
Legit.
You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be a total loss for us. It'll be a trade-off, but it might be well worth that trade-off.
Yeah, I think if we can make that trade, I'd be willing to get rid of both of those and then go get like the guy who played for San Antonio, the guard who played for San Antonio now plays for Patty
Mills.
Patty Mills, because he's free agent.
Yeah. See, now you're talking about putting
get rid of better George Hill, get rid of Pat Connaughton, bring in.
Yeah, and low key, I think Chris Middleton is coming up on his extension year kind of thing too. So it's some conversations. I hear Jordan Poole might be available. I mean, this might be an interesting offseason for the Bucks.
It should be. Well, listen, another great show. Tune in every Tuesday night from 7 to 7:30 right here for the #1 faith-based sports talk show in the entire world, Into His Court. Until next week, have an amazing week. Peace.
Man.